Hey everyone! Today we're talking about a really important topic, something we all need to pay attention to. We're diving into 9 signs you might be mentally and emotionally exhausted. You know, sometimes we get so busy, running around, taking care of business, that we forget to check in with ourselves. We forget to listen to our bodies and our minds. They try to tell us when things are too much, but we often ignore the signs. So let's talk about what those signs are. If any of this sounds familiar, don't worry, we'll get through it together. Let's dive right in. Okay, first up is constant fatigue. We've all had those days where we're just dragging, right? But if you're feeling tired all the time, even after a good night's sleep, that's a sign something might be up. Imagine, you wake up feeling like you could sleep for another 10 hours. You push through the day, but every task feels like climbing a mountain. Making dinner, Mount Everest, folding laundry, K2, the second highest mountain in the world. This kind of exhaustion goes beyond just being physically tired. It's like your battery is constantly drained, no matter how much you rest. It's that mental and emotional fatigue that can really weigh you down. So if you're feeling like you're running on fumes most of the time, it's time to take a step back and listen to your body. You deserve to feel energized and ready to take on the day. Next up, let's talk about a biggie: lack of motivation. Remember those hobbies you used to love? The things that got you excited to jump out of bed in the morning? Well, when you're mentally and emotionally exhausted, even those things can feel like a chore. It's like someone flipped a switch, and suddenly, the things that used to bring you joy just don't do it anymore. Maybe you loved painting, but now those brushes are just gathering dust. Or maybe you were a dancing machine, but now the thought of putting on your dancing shoes feels, well, exhausting. This lack of motivation can spread to every area of your life, from work to relationships to even just taking care of yourself. It's like you're stuck in a rut, and you just don't have the energy or desire to climb out. Remember, this isn't about being lazy. It's a sign that you need to recharge and prioritize your mental and emotional well-being. Have you ever noticed that when you're tired, you tend to get a little more, shall we say, sensitive? Well, irritability is a major red flag when it comes to mental and emotional exhaustion. It's like everything gets on your nerves. The traffic is louder, the lines are longer, and that annoying pen clicking sound, forget about it. You're ready to launch that pen into orbit. Even the smallest things can set you off, and you might find yourself snapping at loved ones or getting frustrated more easily. It's like your fuse has gotten shorter, and the slightest thing can ignite a firestorm of emotions. And let's be honest, nobody wants to be around a grumpy Gus or a grumpy Gabby. So if you're noticing that you're quicker to anger or frustration, it's time to take a step back and figure out what's draining your energy. Okay, next up is difficulty concentrating. You know that feeling when you're trying to focus on something important, but your mind is like a butterfly, flitting from thought to thought. It's like you're trying to read a book, but the words just swim in front of your eyes. You sit down to work, but you find yourself staring blankly at the computer screen, your to-do list feeling as long as a CVS receipt. Suddenly, you're organizing your sock drawer or watching videos of cats playing the piano, anything to avoid that mental heavy lifting. This lack of focus can make even simple tasks feel overwhelming, and it can really take a toll on your productivity and your sense of accomplishment. It's like your brain is saying, hold on, I need a timeout. Let's talk about sleep, or should I say, lack of sleep. When you're mentally and emotionally drained, getting a good night's rest can feel impossible. You climb into bed, hoping for a blissful slumber, but your mind decides it's time for a party. It's like your thoughts are doing a conga line in your brain, replaying every worry, to-do list item, and awkward moment from the past decade. You toss and turn, counting sheep until you're pretty sure you could herd your own flock. And even if you do manage to drift off, you're constantly waking up, feeling like you haven't actually rested at all. This sleep disruption just adds to the cycle of exhaustion, making it even harder to function during the day. Remember that feeling of being completely swamped, like you're drowning in a sea of responsibilities? That's what feeling overwhelmed feels like, and it's a major sign of mental and emotional exhaustion. It's like your plate is overflowing with tasks, obligations, and expectations, and you just don't know how you're going to handle it all. Every email, every phone call, every errand feels like a monumental task. You start to avoid things, procrastinate, and the thought of even tackling the smallest item on your to-do list sends you running for the hills, or at least hiding under the covers. It's like your inner voice is screaming, "Help! I can't take it anymore!" You know how sometimes stress can manifest in physical ways? Well, mental and emotional exhaustion can do the same thing. It's like your body is waving a giant red flag saying, "Hey, something's not right up here." You might get headaches that feel like a vice grip on your temples, or your stomach might be doing somersaults, even though you haven't been near a roller coaster. Some people experience muscle tension, back pain, or even changes in appetite. These physical symptoms are your body's way of telling you to slow down, take a break, and address the underlying mental and emotional stress. It's like your body is saying, "Time out. We need to take care of ourselves." Here's a difficult one to talk about: emotional numbness. When you're mentally and emotionally exhausted, you might start to feel disconnected from your emotions. It's like you've built a wall around your heart to protect yourself from feeling anything at all. You might not feel like yourself. You might find it hard to cry, laugh, or get excited about things. Even good news might be met with a shrug or a forced smile. This emotional detachment can be a way of coping with overwhelming stress and exhaustion. It's like your mind and body are saying, "Okay, we can't handle any more feelings right now, so we're just going to shut down for a while." Last but not least, let's talk about anxiety. Feeling anxious or worried from time to time is completely normal, but when you're mentally and emotionally exhausted, those feelings can intensify. It's like your inner worrywart has been working overtime, and suddenly, everything feels like a potential disaster waiting to happen. You might feel restless, on edge, or like you can't turn off the constant stream of what-ifs running through your mind. This increased anxiety can make it even harder to relax, focus, and get a good night's sleep, which just perpetuates the cycle of exhaustion. It's like you're stuck in a never-ending loop of worry and fatigue. Thanks for watching, everyone. We covered a lot today, and I hope it's helped you understand the signs of mental and emotional exhaustion. Remember, you're not alone in this. If you recognize yourself in any of these signs, please know that it's okay to not be okay. It's a sign that you need to prioritize your well-being and take some time for yourself. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more content like this. And most importantly, take care of yourselves.